Electron configuration is the notation of how electrons are arranged in an atom. It notes the energy level, or shell, the block, or the subshell, and the number of electrons in each one of those subshells. We use the periodic table as a tool to help us with this. These numbers right here are going to be used to represent the energy levels. Each one of these different colors on this periodic table represents different blocks or subshells. There's the S block, the P block, the D block, and the F block. And note that helium is part of the S block. Helium. Okay, so each element block that is on the periodic table also represents an increase in number of electrons. And I'll show you what I mean with an example. Let's do hydrogen. Okay, let me rewrite that. Hydrogen. There we go. All right, so hydrogen, as you can see, is right here. It is in the first energy level. It is in the S block, and it is the first element square in that subshell. So it gets a 1 as a superscript for its electron configuration. So 1s1 is the full electron configuration for hydrogen. Next, let's try helium. Helium is still in the first energy level. It is still in the S block, but it is the second square in that subshell. So it's going to get a 2. Okay, so next we go down to the second energy level. Let's try lithium here. Okay. Now we can't just start with the second energy level. We have to include all of the previous energy levels and subshells that we've written. So we have to include, as long as they're completed. So we have to include this 1s2 because that is the completed orbital that is on the inside of this atom. So we have to include that. So for lithium is in the second energy level. It is still in the S block, and it is the first square. So that is the completed electron configuration for lithium. 1s2, 2s1. For beryllium here, the electron configuration for beryllium, remember we have to include the previously filled orbitals. So we're going to include 1s2. And for beryllium, we are in the second energy level, S block, but it is the second square in. All right, so let's go over here to boron. The electron configuration for boron, remember we have to include the 1s2. The 2s2 has now been completed, so we're going to include that. And now we are still in the second energy level, but we are in the P block, and that is the first square in the P block, so it's 2p1. And I hope you're really starting to see a pattern with this now. Let's try oxygen. Oxygen is right here on the periodic table. We have to include all the previously filled subshells, so 1s2, 2s2. We are still in the second energy level, the P block, but oxygen is 1, 2, 3, the fourth square into that subshell, so it gets a 4. Okay, let's do neon next. Neon is right here. Complete up, bring down all the previously completed orbitals, or I apologize, subshells, 1s2, 2s2, 2p, and this is going to be 6.